The video of today is going to be my predictions for 2019 and beyond. I'm going to be doing 2019, 2020, 21, 22, exact price targets, exact dates for Bitcoin BTC, Bitcoin Cash, and maybe Ripple as well at the end of the video. So let's start. Hey guys, welcome back. Happy 2019, Happy New Year. Today is 1st of January 2019. Thank you very much for choosing the beach option on my Twitter poll yesterday. I really wanted to have the beach on the background so you guys could see it, but I have to be facing the sun. Otherwise, you're not going to see me at all. But this is the beach. This is what I'm seeing while recording this video. This is an amazing location. I love it. But anyways, I know you're not interested in seeing my face. I know you guys come here to see charts, so don't worry about it. I'm going to be placing charts all over the screen in a little bit, so you have your dose of charts as well. I hope I don't have to tell you that this is pure speculation. I have no fucking idea what's going to happen in 2019, 2020, 2021, 22. I have no idea. This is basically throwing darts at the Diana, and maybe I will hit the target in one of my predictions. So please don't invest anything, based on what you hear today here in this video, because really I have no crystal ball. I'm only using chart patterns. I'm using basic support and resistance lines, trend lines, and previous history from cryptocurrency history. So that's what I'm using. History doesn't have to repeat itself. Support and resistance lines don't have to be respected every time. So basically this is pure speculation and gambling, all right? Okay, so let's start. We will hit bottom at 2,500 by mid-2019, consolidate, and then slowly uptrend up until middle 2021, and then we will be at $6,000, which will be a level that's going to be very hard to break because we've consolidated there for such a long time. So it's not going to be an easy level to break, but I'm estimating we will be at $6,000 by middle 2021. Then eventually we will break that level in the upside, and we will be breaking the previous all-time highs, which is currently $20,000, by the middle of 2022. When previous all-time highs are broken, historically in crypto, is when things start to go really, really crazy and really, really parabolic. So I'm anticipating we will break the previous all-time highs of $20,000 by the middle of 2022. Basically, I'm basing this prediction in a few different factors. First factor is the growth curve. I'm basing my predictions first in this curve line. Second, I'm basing this prediction also in these other curve lines that happen every time we have a bear market. It does like a U type of bottom shape. So it goes from the all-time highs to the bottom, like rounding, then it consolidates, like going a little flat, and then it starts pushing up slowly, and then it accelerates. And that's how every bear market worked so far. Cycles seem to be getting longer as well. Then I am also using basic support and resistance lines, which means Bitcoin usually tends to go, after it goes parabolic and crazy and hits a top, it usually corrects to test the previous all-time high from the previous crazy bubble. So I'm using these support and resistance lines, and then I'm using also the downtrend resistance that always dictates the bear market. And this is true not only for cryptocurrencies, but for any chart or any markets in the world. When we are in bull markets, you follow the uptrend line. And for bear markets, it's the same thing. You follow the downtrend resistance and you short every time the price corrects in the upside and it touches the downtrend resistance line, and you continue to short every time the price touches the line, and you continue to trade continuation until this line is broken. So in my prediction, following previous patterns, if you see the first capitulation here at the end of 2014. It landed right at that level from the peak of the previous bubble. Eventually this level broke and it capitulated once more. If you pay attention here, it went to the, not to the exact top of the previous bubble, but the second peak here, the second, you know how when markets top, usually they go vertical, parabolic, and then they crash, and then they bounce hard, and they make it almost to the all-time highs, but not quite, and then they crash again. So it went to that high, the second high from the previous bubble. So I am predicting that the same thing is going to happen, and if the same thing happens now, we will be landing at the second peak of this previous, pre-bubble here, which is at around $2,500. Now, this is being optimistic, right? Optimistic, realistic, but if I'm realistic, pessimistic, and I say this level won't hold, if this level doesn't hold at 2,500, then there's not going to be any serious support until down at $1,200. So, but that will be topic for another video. For this video, I'm predicting 2,500 as a repeat of 2014, which is around the same percentage decrease from the all-time highs, around 86%, something like that. So it would be very, very similar. The timing would be very similar, just a little bit longer this time, because obviously, the growth curve is going more flat. So it's obviously things need to take a little longer, as time goes by and as the market cap continues to grow over time. If we hit bottom here at 2,500, I would expect consolidation for a few months, as we can see here, and then start uptrending until we touch the major resistance, which will be $6,000. If we follow this perfect U bottom shape, we should be hitting the previous all-time highs at $20,000 by the middle of 2022. Every U bottom we did, it was like almost very, very, symmetrical and very, very perfect. That's it for Bitcoin BTC. Now let's move on to Bitcoin Cash. I have my notes here, so let me drink. I'm having here chips and beer. All right, so I'm going to tell you the numbers first, and then we go into the charts like I did for Bitcoin BTC. My numbers for Bitcoin Cash is that we already hit bottom, but by the middle of 2019, when Bitcoin BTC is capitulating and hitting bottom, and probably many other coins will be doing the same, Bitcoin Cash, by that time, it'll be capitulating as well, but only to retest the previous lows. Actually, not even as low as the recent low, but I'm predicting 100 or 110. It'll be the next low that Bitcoin Cash will hit by middle 2019 when everything is capitulating. It'll be retesting the level of 100, 110 by the middle of 2019. Then sideways until the middle of 2020. That's one full year going sideways and consolidating. It's going to be back at $500 by the beginning of 2022. Just like I said, $6,000 for Bitcoin BTC. In fact, actually for Bitcoin Cash, I don't know if it's 400 or 600, because these two levels are very significant. So because I have no idea which of these two will be, that's going to be harder to break. I say 500, which is in the middle, but I actually think it's either 400 or 600. But we will be there by the beginning of 2022, which means we've been already uptrending for a long time, from the bottom or from the previous low at $100 up to $500 in 2 years. And then, or actually in 1 year and a half, and then break the previous all-time highs in the middle of 2022. Just like I said for Bitcoin BTC, breaking the previous all-time highs in the middle of 2022. So this is my prediction for Bitcoin Cash. Now let's get into the charts so I can show you why I think this is going to happen. So since I don't have reference from previous, previous all-time highs and previous bubbles or anything like that, I had to take other charts to compare with from previous history in cryptocurrency. So the very top one is Bitcoin Cash. Obviously, you can see here is the shortest one because it was, it started in August 2017. So the one below it is Litecoin in gray. The one below it is Ripple in blue. And the one below it is Dogecoin in brown or orange or brownish, whatever this color is. What I observed is that they bottomed at a very different dates. Some of them bottomed a lot earlier, but what I observed is that all of them did a 95 to 96% correction. So if we zoom in here, we see Litecoin did a 96% plus correction, and Ripple and Dogecoin did a 95% correction, which is close enough. So they all corrected the same, but these two last ones, they bottomed a lot earlier because they did the correction a lot faster. Just like actually it happened with Bitcoin BTC, it corrected in 2011, it corrected like 90% or more, and it did it in a few months. So if you correct faster, you will obviously, bottom earlier than the other ones. But what happens after that you have a much longer consolidation as well. So you're not gaining that much. It's just an observation, and it's just a factor that I, take into account for my prediction. So, for example, let's zoom in Litecoin. In the first capitulation, you don't see a V-shaped type of bottom with, very, very vertical bounce, and then correct only to 50% of the move. No, you just see vertical capitulation and then kind of sideways, okay? And when you do capitulation and then you go kind of sideways, it means there's probably more capitulation to come. Now, look at the actual bottom. The actual bottom for Litecoin is a V-shaped bottom, a correction to more or less 50% of the vertical move up, and then consolidation. And then, yes, we got rejected one more time at the downtrend resistance, but when getting rejected, it didn't break the previous low, and it, very soon broke the downtrend resistance line. So you can observe every bottom looks the same. The actual bottom is a V-shaped bottom, and then a not very significant correction and long consolidation there. That's how bottom of the markets look usually, and this is not special to crypto. This is for any market. I made a video, actually I'm going to be linking it down below for easy access. I was explaining how markets bottom and the 4 specific signals that I'm waiting for to call the bottom. And for Bitcoin Cash, we already have the 2 first signals, and we're working on the 3rd one, which we don't have in many other coins, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, Litecoin. Many others don't have these signals yet. But for Bitcoin Cash already corrected 97%, and I know guys, it's because of the split as well. Part of the investors moved to the BSV chain, and that's why it capitulated more than others and all that. I know that, but I still look at charts, look at patterns, and this is still looking like the perfect bottom of a bear market. It doesn't have to work 100% of the times, but this is like, look at how this looks compared with the actual bottoms of all the other altcoins in the previous bear market. This is very much looking like a bottom of the market type of structure. That's why I say we're going sideways here until we hit downtrend resistance, which is very far away compared to other altcoins or even Bitcoin. It's very far away, but eventually when we hit this, I expect rejection again and capitulation, and from there consolidate and soon break this downtrend resistance line, and that's the ultimate signal that the bear market is over. I'm also basing my predictions in the same rounded curve that we've seen, in Bitcoin or in many other altcoins during previous bear markets. It does a almost perfect U, almost like perfectly symmetrical, but actually the bottom, it's not at the middle of the U. It happens a little bit earlier, but then it consolidates for all the, the bottom part, and then it starts uptrending. So yeah, that's about it. That's about everything I have for the Bitcoin Cash charts. And now let's talk about Ripple. I don't know if we already hit bottom, like I said for Bitcoin Cash, or if we will actually capitulate a lot more. But my prediction is that we will find out very, very, very soon for Ripple. We will find out. My due date to find out is at the end of February. So 2 months from now, we will know for sure if this recent low was a bottom, or if not, maximum by the end of February, we will be capitulating big time, because that's the time I estimate Ripple will hit the downtrend, the main downtrend resistance line, and also a very main uptrend support line. Ripple is getting very tight. It will break either up or down very, very soon. My due date is the end of February, but it can happen anytime before the end of February. So it can happen today, tomorrow, next week, next month. Here you can see the chart is getting very, very tight. The end of this, I'm gonna call it triangle, is gonna be by the end of February of 2019. And here we will know if we break out of this downtrend resistance line and we break out decisively, then I'm going to be pretty confident we actually hit the bottom in this recent low. We have solid support at this level, because look how long it was consolidating here, almost for 1 year since it hit the previous all-time high in the, you know, in the previous pre-bubble. It hit the all-time high there, and it consolidated there for like almost a year, like 8 or 10 months there, until it broke that level. So we are at solid support. However, if this support breaks, I'm anticipating it's going to go to the previous significant high at least, which is going to be at 0.08, so 8 cents for Ripple. And I would predict that this bottom will be hit, just like I said for Bitcoin BTC, in the middle of 2019. Now, if these downtrend resistance lines break in the upside and we see some significant volume and a decisive move up, then I predict what I said for Bitcoin Cash, basically that the bottom was already hit, but you know, we would still see capitulation again by the middle of 2019, but only to retest the previous lows or a little bit higher. And from there, consolidate 6 months or a year, and then start up trending. And basically the same that I explained for Bitcoin BTC and Bitcoin Cash. So I'm paying close attention to Ripple. Is a very interesting chart for sure. And yeah, hopefully we will find out very, very soon. That was all for my New Year special, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.